The morning began like any other in the quiet town of Crescent Falls, until the roar of military trucks shattered the silence. 4 military-grade trucks pulled in, tires screeching, soldiers pouring out like a response unit, locked, loaded, and laser-focused. People stared from windows. Phones rang off the hook. Was it a raid? A mistake? The soldiers weren't just there. They were heading straight for Harold Bennett, the 62-year-old grocer known for his smile, not secrets. And when the highest-ranking officer stepped out, he didn't ask for paperwork. He asked for Harold by name. If you believe kindness should never go unnoticed, if you believe veterans deserve more than thanks, they deserve action, then like, comment, respect, and subscribe to Silent Valor Stories, because honor lives here. Harold Bennett never thought his name would make national headlines. He was just a man who owned a modest grocery store in a town where people still waved at each other. For 30 years, he ran Bennett's Market, a little red brick corner shop with a creaky door, handwritten signs, and oldie-timey charm. He didn't serve in the military himself. Flat feet disqualified him. But respect for those who did, that ran deep. His brother, Charles, never made it back from Vietnam. His father had stormed the beaches of Normandy. Harold knew the price of freedom. He'd lived in its shadow all his life. So when the Willis family, a struggling young couple with 3 kids, came in one cold November evening, Harold noticed something. The father, Tom Willis, was gaunt. The wife's eyes were red. The kids, too quiet. They didn't grab candy like kids normally did. They stood still, almost afraid. Tom had recently returned from a 9-month deployment overseas. He was medically discharged after an IED left shrapnel near his spine. The VA was still processing paperwork. No income, no insurance, no help. Tom handed over a few cans of beans and some dry rice. The total was $12.67. But his card got declined. Tom's face crumbled. His wife looked away, ashamed. One of the kids whispered, "I'm sorry, Dad." That's when Harold leaned in, scanned the groceries again, smiled, and said, "You forgot the milk." He walked over, grabbed a gallon, added a few apples, and scanned them too. "On the house," he said. "Your money's no good here, soldier." Tom objected. Harold insisted, and before they left, he slipped the boy a chocolate bar. No cameras, no hashtags, just a man honoring a sacrifice. The next morning, Harold opened his shop at 7 a.m. like always. But something was off. At 7:15, the trucks rolled in. Military-grade Humvees, black SUVs, a convoy of uniformed men stepping out in synchronized precision. The street shut down. Townsfolk froze. Harold stepped outside expecting, well, he didn't know what to expect. That's when a soldier, tall, African-American, stern but kind-eyed, approached and said, "Are you Mr. Harold Bennett?" "Yes." The soldier saluted. "Sir, you are requested at attention." Harold blinked. And then, from the SUV, stepped Colonel Nathaniel Willis, father of Tom Willis and a 2-star decorated officer in the U.S. Army. "You fed my family. You honored my son. Today, we honor you." For the next 20 minutes, the quiet town of Crescent Falls stood still as soldiers unfolded a surprise. A plaque was presented to Harold in front of his shop. The Army choir, who had traveled hours, sang the national anthem. And most astonishingly, a flag that had flown over a forward operating base in Afghanistan was gifted to Harold, folded with military precision and placed in his arms. Colonel Willis continued, "In this world we see a lot of cruelty, but every so often someone reminds us of what we're fighting for. Mr. Bennett, your kindness reminded this unit why we serve." Harold, eyes misty, whispered, "I just gave them groceries." "No, sir," said the colonel. "You gave them dignity." The ceremony was brief, but powerful. A local reporter caught wind and live-streamed the moment. By that evening, Harold's quiet act had gone viral. Politicians tweeted, veterans organizations shared his story. Donations poured in, not for Harold, but for the Willis family. The grocery store had customers lined up down the street. People just wanted to shake the man's hand. Harold never asked for any of it. When asked by a news anchor how he felt about all the attention, he chuckled and said, "I just hope the apples were fresh." But beyond the headlines and the hashtags, something deeper changed. Young people in town began volunteering with the VFW. Local businesses started Vet Appreciation Wednesdays. A mural was painted near Harold's shop, not of him, but of Tom Willis and his kids, smiling. Harold became a symbol, not of charity, but of character. In a world where kindness is often quiet and sacrifice often ignored, one simple act echoed loud enough for a military convoy to hear. And it reminded a nation, heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they wear aprons and give away apples.